What up, guys? Welcome back to Athletes Wire. I couldn't help but notice Cam Newton's name finding a way to simply vanish off the face of the earth. Have to give him credit when it's due. Fox Sports' Jason Whitlock has been vocal in his support of what Cam's doing on the field, but other than that, silence. Didn't we give Kelvin Benjamin his 15 minutes of shine by covering his quotes on Cam not being accurate to explain his own lack of production in Carolina? As of right now, 70% completion percentage, with one pick, off to a better start than his MVP year. Kelvin Benjamin will tell us, I would say, give it till week 10. He'll talk about Josh Allen's accuracy, so I'll leave that topic alone until that day inevitably arrives. In other sad news, and as unfortunate as this is, Earl Thomas is done for the year, just as he feared could happen after his mini holdout. I believe Le'Veon Bell and Earl Thomas have every right to be pissed. They just have their anger aimed at the wrong people. I'm bringing former NFL All-Pro, current co-host on Fox Sports 1 Speak For Yourself with Jason Whitlock to see if I'm right. Let's go. So I just wanted to welcome Marcellus Wiley to Athletes Wire. The dude has been dominating Jason Whitlock ever since he joined Fox Sports 1. He's the reason Jason Whitlock's actually the reason I started watching Fox, and you've been killing him. So what is the trick?
Oh, man. First of all, thank you, brother. Jason's amazing, man. The dude really has your best interests at heart. No matter if you differ from him or not, you got to respect that he shows you his work. He's prepared, and he gives you full effort. So it's been good, man. My perspective is, I will say it's unique in the sense of not just it's my opinion, but I've been through a lot of different roads on this journey. So a lot of contrast, a lot of contradictions almost. So I think that gives me evolved opinion on a lot of these subjects and the experience as well. So it's been fun the entire ride, man. I'm glad I'm with somebody so intelligent that could take a joke. It's been fun.
Right, and you said you've been through a lot. So you were an All-Pro back in 2001. And now that social media is becoming so prevalent in the game today, a lot of fans have been complaining about the lack of contact. But you said on air that you like that it's headed that direction. And that's because obviously you played through such a hard time at contact. Do you think the NFL is calling our bluff when we said we're going to stop watching due to all the flags and contact?
Yeah, it's funny. NFL, obviously, no one's in a position that you're too big to fail, but let's be real. Once you get to that high power position of being the king of all sports, you got to learn what's the real from the fake and the
Right.
signal from the noise. So you're always going to have complaints if you're at the top. I don't care if it's individual or if it's a company. Just Google your name if you're doing something well in life.
Right.
And be prepared for the criticism. So NFL is no different. The ratings are up this year. Obviously, they were down last year. So you got to trust in your process and trust in what's best for your game going forward. And I don't think anybody walks into football saying, I'm tough. But football will make you tougher, and you'll walk out that game definitely tougher. But all these rules are to protect their investments, and the greatest investment is at the quarterback position. So I'm a guy that likes a big score. I'm a guy that likes a Super Bowl that was 41-33,
So you're
or
Patrick
like,
Mahomes.
yeah, Patrick Mahomes or the Vikings Rams game. Don't give me that Tennessee Jacksonville 9-6 stuff, man. That ain't gonna fly. So I'm with the NFL.
Right. So there's been plenty of complaints that go around, like you were saying. Earl Thomas unfortunately went down with an injury, like he was saying, might happen. Le'Veon Bell is trying to prevent that from happening. They're trying to fight for power, but it seems to me when he walked off the field, flipping off his own sideline, that
Mm.
their issue is with the wrong people. Isn't this an NFL Players Association issue?
Yeah, I mean, it starts there in terms of who can really move the needle, who can really gain the power so that you can now go out there and have leverage and enforce it.
Right.
Uh, yeah, I think that bird that Earl Thomas gave was really to himself and to his reality. He just knew that he just lived through his worst nightmare. So I get the frustration, but it's displaced aggression. It's directed at the wrong people. So it's unfortunate. Like, my daddy didn't teach me to be idealistic. He taught me to be realistic.
Yeah.
He's You make change from within, but you still got to play by the rules to even get in there. So, in a non-guaranteed sport, it is what it is, man. Like, you can be a player rep, you could be on the executive committee, you can help the NFLPA in that charge, and the players are getting closer. We saw our Kirk Cousins sign a 3-year, $84 million, fully guaranteed. So they're getting somewhere in that journey, in that race. But when you have another year on your contract, and then you want to be disgruntled, not professional to the fullest, and still expect somebody to give you millions of their dollars.
Right.
I don't know where they do that at, but trust me, you ain't gonna come punk me out of my money if I'm owning something. So I think at times players lose sight of the other side of the negotiating table.
Okay. Now I made a video about a month and a half ago. I was talking about Cam Newton and his lack of respect that he's getting, not just from the fans, but from the players. Kelvin Benjamin talking about the accuracy on his football, and now Kelvin Benjamin's not doing anything. I know he's coming off of an injury now, but Cam Newton's now 70% with one pick. What's it going to take for him to get a Kevin Durant kind of coverage instead of a LeBron James?
Oh man, tough one for Cam, man. Like I said, with the success comes the criticism. One, and the last thing you should do is feed that criticism. And Cam has his moments where he feeds it. Whatever you want to say about him, whether it's man, he got his towel over his head, he's not talking to anybody, or it's he's walking out of an interview, post Super Bowl, or you invite some of that criticism, maybe in a lighthearted way when you're wearing the outfits and they're outlandish, but you're like, I got style, I got flair. And being unconventional is always going to come with its share of criticism. If you walk the not beaten path, if you walk on the side of that road where it's a little dustier and not too many have traveled, you got to deal with it. And I think if you're Cam Newton, the narrative is going to always sell you short. He's balling this year, and he's playing better than he did when he won the MVP. But if he wants that full circle of respect and love and endearment, I don't think he has the personality that's going to approach that or invite that. So live your life, man. No one's tripping.
Okay, and now I read the cover of your upcoming book coming out October 23rd. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay, so it says you're an outlier. Are you being an outlier when you chose the Clippers over the Lakers?
I'm not talking to you right now. Let's go. FaceTime over.
It's crazy, man. Are you going to get Kawhi?
Oh, man. Kawhi, Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, all in the makings. Somehow, some way, that gumbo was being cooked up by Jerry West. But I became a Clipper fan because I'm from LA. So obviously, I grew up in Showtime Lakers. But I'm an underdog just by conditions, by dynamics, by circumstance. I've always been an underdog. The statistics have grown up in Compton, South Central. I'm listening to it, but I'm like, y'all better not discount me. I'm coming. Somehow, some way, I'm getting there.
Right.
So I've always had a natural alignment to underdogs. But I wasn't a fan of the Lakers or the Clippers in the 80s and the 90s. I didn't care. I was playing ball my damn self. I had a life to live. I was like, I ain't about to get caught up in their money. Let me go get mine,
Right.
My father's from Texas, but then he moved to San Diego, and he's raised in San Diego Clippers. So I always watched the Clippers. I'm one of the few that saw all their games in LA in the 80s and 90s when Showtime was running. So when I finally retired, when I finally had time to really be a fan of sports, I picked that team because I love what they embodied. I love that they were trying to do the impossible, and that's kind of my spirit.
Okay, I can respect that. Now, that book that's coming out October 23rd, don't forget it. Can you give us a little snippet of that?
Yeah, it's called Never Shut Up. You can download it right now. Amazon, iBooks. I recommend you get the paperback or the hardcover. Yeah, when I meet you, when I see you, or the autograph signing, I'll sign it. But the audiobook is gangster. The audiobook is me narrating. What 21 hours it took me to narrate my own audiobook, and it was full of energy. I try to bring life to the words and put you in the mindset and the context in which I lived those experiences. But it's a memoir based on a fork in the road kid who plotted and planned a way of life for himself to elevate my family and get us out of our circumstances. It was just that simple. I'm 7 years young, and I'm like, I could play some sports, and I'm smart in class. Those are my two weapons, and I'm going out there and about to attack this world. And I chose the title "Never Shut Up" because that's my essence. And that's the essence I want to inspire in terms of messaging for everyone. Don't let this world tell you who you are, man. Never shut up in your essence. Always try to dictate terms, because if not, this world is going to suppress who you are and your talents. Never shut up and go get yours and let the world know who you are.
Okay, sounds good. Marcellus, I just wanted to thank you for coming on. Hopefully
Yes,
you can
sir.
come back soon. I'm trying to get Jason to come on so he can defend
Oh,
himself and these lashings you're putting on him. It's unbelievable right now.
I'm going to definitely tell him to come on, man. I
Okay.
definitely give him that note. So you're a big fan of his as well. He got to show love.
All right. Tell him I said what's up.
All right, big dog. I'll talk to
All
you
right.
soon, brother.